May I come in, sir?
Come. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Would you like to unbutton your coat?
Yes, sir.
You can unbutton and then sit down. Otherwise, sometimes the button will break. Now, Mr. Saurabh Kumar,
Yes, sir.
there is a talk about Jitni Abadi Utna Hak. Do you understand this terminology?
Yes, sir. Like right should be related to the number population.
No, that is the literal translation.
Yes, sir.
But it is mentioned in a particular context these days. Are you aware? A context of caste census.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, do you think a caste census should be done this time, or should it be a normal census like the previous years, previous decades?
Sir, as it has already both disadvantages and advantages, so it should be done, but it should not be misused for any bad purposes.
So, how can you ensure that?
Sir, it should be conducted at a national level, that is socio-economic caste census, but political parties and other media persons.
So once the caste census is out, anybody can use the data, anybody can publish the data, anybody can speak about the data. Then how do you say that it should not be misused?
Sir, I think they should exercise personal restraint, because, sir, if we see anything, then they have advantages and disadvantages. So by this parameter, we cannot stop anything. So it should be conducted because it can have long-term benefits, in my opinion.
So what are the benefits?
Sir, like we may implement various schemes targeted to various castes, and also a reservation debate is going nowadays. So I think, sir, as reservation benefits, the debate is going nowadays in various states, and also on nationwide, like which by particular caste can have various subcastes. So they are feeling deprived. So I think we may be targeting in a better way via caste level data, and also, sir, we may understand the demographic profiling, because after 15 years we do not have a national level caste data.
Recently, Supreme Court has also permitted sub-classification within the overall category, particularly in the context of scheduled caste. They have said that you can go in for sub-classification,
Yes,
accordingly provide benefits, reservation benefits. Is it desirable now, or is it the most necessary measure to be taken that we provide sub-classification among the backward classes and provide reservation on that basis, or do we provide it as it is being done now?
Sir, I think in every caste and subcaste, there is a issue that only the benefits are percolating to only some of the caste and accumulating to only few people. So, and also, sir, there is a tendency to of some caste within a particular community to be dominating the overall system. So I think, in my opinion, it is right way, particularly in scheduled caste, in which particularly some of the communities from Rajasthan and other states are dominating, and not all the communities are getting benefits.
Now, let's turn to the time when India became independent. 1950, we had the Constitution of India.
Yes, sir.
That was finally accepted by the Constituent Assembly, and it became law.
Yes, sir.
Now, in 1952, we have the general elections. Now, between 1950 to 1952, who was the President of India?
Sir, between 1950 to 1952, sir, Dr. Rajendra Prasad.
And then, after 1952?
Sir, I think he was only elected as President of India.
So, the Governor General stepped down in 1950.
Yes, sir, because, sir, our constitution was adopted on 26 January 1950. So the post of Viceroy and Governor General were transformed into President of India, because India became a republic on 1950.
Okay. Now, who was the Governor General before that? Who stepped down?
Sir, it was C. Rajagopalachari, sir.
Now, in the matter of foreign affairs, what do you think should be India's stance vis-a-vis China?
Sir, in my opinion, sir, India is heavily dependent on China in terms of trade. So India must be very cautious when formulating policy with respect to a country like China, because
Very true.
yes, sir, because we share a huge border with China, and any diplomatic and minister level meeting with respect to what are kind of implications or our trade also. So I think we must promote more people-to-people ties through diplomatic engagement like we are doing on the border.
Develop friendly relations.
Yes, sir.
But suppose China does not reciprocate, how can you have friendly relations with a neighbor who doesn't reciprocate?
Sir, in the recent times, I think they are reciprocating. But if in
They can withdraw anytime.
yes, sir, that is also very much concerned. So in that term, sir, I think India should have alternative partner also. Like India is already diversifying into Africa, Central Asia, and South America. So that, and also India is trying to reduce the import dependency from China. So in the long term, we can have we can separate our economic ties from China. But sir, till that time, I think we have to restrain because we are dependent on China in terms of trade. And also,
What is the balance of trade between India and China?
sir, it is we have more than $100 billion of trade deficit.
Very good.
So, Saurabh, tell me something about your district, Jharsuguda.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, Jharsuguda is known as the powerhouse of Odisha because it houses several mineral reserves like steel, iron, and various thermal power plants also. And also, sir, although Sambalpur has GI tag of Sambalpuri sari, but it is produced extensively in our district also. And sir, people here are mostly employed in coal.
To say that these iron ore and aluminum ore are found there, or factories are there?
Sir, factories are there in Jharsuguda. Mainly coal is found there, but we have some iron and aluminum business also there. Yes, sir.
You said powerhouse. Why?
Sir, because it houses some of the major thermal power plants of Odisha. Also, sir, local level and also NTPC is also there.
That means coal must be consumed there. That's how thermal power point will be there. Is it not?
Yes.
Okay. Another issue, this open cast mining, what it is?
Sir, open cast mining, also called open pit mining, it is primarily used to extract the coal seam that is not very much below the earth surface, and it is generally exercised through bench mining and other methods that is used to extract coal seam that is not, sir, very atmospheric depth.
Are there any methods, modern methods of mining which we are not using and foreign countries are using?
Yes, sir, there are several methods, sir, that we are using but at a very low scale, that are longwall mining and highwall mining. That is used in some parts of BCCL and CCL, but it is not used extensively in India, mainly due to the lack of funds and lack of training of personnel.
I see. And robots are not used for mining, or they can also be used?
So currently there are targets, and Coal India is also planning to promote the.
Any difficulty in introducing robots for mining?
Currently, sir, we are not indigenously producing robots. So first factor is the cost associated with deploying robots, and the second and most important factor is also our personnel and employees are not trained to use robots. So we first have to plan some skill development program.
Do you think there will be a resistance from the existing miners if you introduce robot?
So not particularly miners, but I think there can be resistance from some sections who think that their job might be consumed by the robots, but I think they also understand that some efficiency is needed because many deaths are occurring nowadays in underground mine and also other safety operations in mines. So I think they will understand that it is needed nowadays.
Tell me something about rat hole mining.
Sir, recently in Assam, Dima Assaw district, some people died in rat hole mining.
Now, what is rat hole mining?
Sir, rat hole mining is basically done to extract the thin coal seams that are found generally in Northeast India, in India. It is generally through tunneling or vertical drift method, so that a person as thin as a small child can enter and extract the coal directly without using any specialized equipment.
How deep they go?
Sir, it is
Rat hole. No?
Yes, sir.
So rat can enter, or human can enter, or you said child can enter.
Yes, sir.
So average size human being cannot enter in that?
Sir, it is called rat because, sir, a child is considered, it is metaphorically compared to a child rat. But sir, a man can enter, but they generally dig a small hole so that a child can enter. That is very economical to them. But
Those who are trapped this time,
yes, sir.
they're all adult people. None of them is child.
Yes, sir.
So obviously adults must be entering.
Yes, sir. Sir, this time I think they entered through tunnel and then went to drift, and there was a river flowing. So I think they understood that drift, a child cannot maneuver in after entering into the earth. So some adults entered this time.
Can it not be totally banned?
Sir, it is banned in Northeast, in particularly in India it is banned, but sir, in Northeast India we have a law in scheduled areas that any coal that is found below their areas cannot be nationalized, sir. Like in our Indian mainland, apart from Northeast India, any coal belongs to the power to extract coal belongs to Coal India. But in Northeast India, the coal belongs to person, though they cannot extract that. But because it is because maybe due to lack of law enforcement, they try to extract through rat hole mining to escape the law and order. They dig thinner holes.
Okay, there's a thing. You know what is live-in relationship? Live-in relationship.
Yes, sir.
Is it legalized in India or not?
Sir, it is already in place in India, but there is no legal basis. Recently, Uttarakhand government tried to legalize it by requiring for mandatory registration through its uniform civil code.
Supreme Court passed some orders on live-in relationship. Do you think that is as good as legalizing live-in?
So, like, should we legalize it or not?
No. Supreme Court passed order relating to live-in relationship.
Yes, sir.
And at least I think that they have legalized it. But can Supreme Court legalize something which is where no law exists, whether Supreme Court can come and fill in the blank or fill in the gap, make a law or declare that this should be the law?
Sir, currently, sir, there is no specific law regarding live-in relationship in India. So I think the court can only intervene till the time that a national legislation or state level legislation is not enforced. So currently, as there is no law,
Some constitutional provision like that?
sir, under Article 13 and Article 142.
Okay, thank you.
Saurabh, in your extracurricular you have mentioned zombie startups.
Yes, sir.
So what is its meaning?
Sir, a zombie startup is basically any business that have lost its unique selling proposition, but it's continuing its basic operation through its earlier funding, though its operation does not exist in reality.
So what was the project?
Sir, I did it in 2020, and sir, at that time, zombie startup is not referred to any startup. Rather, it is a status that is given to any startup who generally are losing the customer base, but are still continuing by firing their employees and any workforce. So in 2020, sir, we did a project on zombie startup in which we have to identify how a startup becomes zombie startup gradually and how they can escape out of it.
What are the main reasons of a successful startup being converted into a zombie startup?
Sir, any startup at any point of time can turn zombie, mainly because sir, there may be an increase in competitor level, and also there are certain structural changes happening in startup economy. But I think more operational issue is that, sir, like the food business. Currently, the quick commerce challenge the e-commerce business. Zomato and Swiggy challenge there are certain 10-minute delivery systems that are now under launch that is challenging Zomato. And so there are certain software as a service model that is launched that directly challenge the direct software providers in 2020. But sir, I think one more reason that I like to provide is the huge amount of funding that they provide. Sometimes startup founders become indisciplined and they do huge cash burn in expectation of becoming profitable in future. But sometimes it does not become possible, but they still want to be founders. So even if they know that they are not going to become profitable, they still run startups, sir.
How would you categorize Byju's?
Sir, Byju's but not a zombie startup. Sir, a zombie startup is one who gradually loses his business. But Byju's was also continuing in business, but doing a huge cash burn in every sector, and also it was acquiring multiple companies. Sir, and gradually it lost its consumer base. But a zombie startup tag is generally provided to a startup after some time span, sir. But sir, it collapsed just within a year after from its peak.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How do you explain our Viksit Bharat mission, and at the present rate of growth, is it possible to achieve the target?
Sir, the Viksit Bharat target is set at 2047 till the time we want to become a developed country. And in this budget, we have identified 6 pillars, but it generally revolves around all the sectors of economy so that we become self-dependent also. And so currently we are growing at a single-digit growth rate since last 3 to 5 years. But many economists and experts have also pointed out that we need double-digit growth in order to become developed by 2047. But sir, I think it is possible because currently structural reforms are being undertaken, and in future we may achieve double-digit growth mainly by utilizing our demographic potential. Currently,
But the projection in the present budget,
yes, sir.
is it less than last year or more?
So it is in a range 6.3 to 6.8%. So it is less for next year, but I think in long term we have planned certain reforms and schemes to become a double-digit growth country.
Coming to international affairs,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Trump,
Yes.
under Mr. Trump's governance or leadership, can we say that USA is a reliable partner in geopolitics? If yes, why? If no, why?
Sir, as far as my opinion is concerned, Mr. Donald Trump cannot be considered a reliable partner for India and in terms of multilateral institution also. And sir, the reason I provide is he is very unpredictable, not because anti-India or anti-developing country states, but he generally disrespects the multilateral institutions and the global law that is generally accepted. So I think even if he shows friendly attitude towards India, he can anytime turn back from this. So we want a reliable partner who can support us in longer term, not merely by providing some short-term candies. So I think, in my opinion, sir, he is not a reliable partner. But we have to engage with him because we are dependent on USA, and the world is also somehow dependent on USA.
Okay. Thank you.
You also see investigative TV series.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me, did you see that TV series on Chief Minister Jayalalitha? How she died?
No, sir, I did not see that, though I planned to see, but somehow I missed.
Okay, there was another TV series on, I think, Mr. Bhabha and Mr. Vikram Sarabhai, Mr. Homi Jahangir. Did you see that? Yes. Okay, now there if you see Mr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, finally, what was it that Mr. Bhabha says something and then India is moving in a certain direction and then there is an air crash.
Yes, sir.
Now, can you link up the dots and come to a conclusion?
Sir, there are many conspiracy theories regarding that, though it was not directly shown in the series, that USA was afraid that India could launch its own nuclear mission and somehow become nuclear power country also. And sir, there are many conspiracy theories that Lal Bahadur Shastri was also linked to the nuclear project, so they may be murdered. But sir, if we believe the reports, then we have to assume that he died in a normal plane crash.
Okay, but was there some, some strange coincidence about the month and dates in which both of them died?
Yes, I saw that, but I am currently not able to recall the exact dates. But yes, sir.
Now, finally, let's look at real criminal investigation. When the police register an FIR,
Yes, sir.
and then they go in for criminal investigation.
Yes.
Tell me 3 or 4 points which the police should concentrate on when investigation is done before the charge sheet is filed.
Sir, first is definitely the psychological clue that he must draw from the accused and also the persons involved in the crime.
Points, I mean, what are the points which they should be very careful about? They should not miss out evidence relating to that.
Sir, first is the forensic evidence that is found.
Very good, very good, very good.
Crime scene. And sir, Second is the witnesses that may be present
Very good.
at that time. And sir, third is, sir, the circumstances, like we have to make sure that how did that occur, that we can analyze at that time only.
Background.
Yes, sir, background. And sir, fourth thing, sir, again coming to psychological glance at some members who may be involved. Another,
And nowadays the mobile phone.
yes, sir, mobile phones, and also, sir, somehow it is not possible that the chief investigator arrives at that time. So we can ask for the clue from the constables or any persons who are present at that time, sir.
How much is $1 billion in crores?
So it is approximately 8,600 crores rupees.
So if I were to tell you that GDP of India is $4 trillion, in lakh crores, how much is it?
Sir, approximately 330 crores. 330 lakh crores, sir.
Very good. Thank you. Now, Mr. Saurabh Kumar, you're very good. Okay, your mind is working very fast, very alert. Assimilation powers are very good. Reaction time is very quick. These are some outstanding qualities. Let me tell you some points on which you have to be careful. Ek to, this tie doesn't match with the suit, so this tie is not the right one. Okay, it doesn't. Secondly, the hair should be combed and you should shave and present a cleaner appearance. That's okay. Third, I hope you polished your shoes also.
Yes, sir, while coming it, but it is polished.
Now, voice is fine, not an issue. IIT background, mining engineering, all that is there. Sometimes you become a little extreme in the way you present things. You have to be careful. I asked you about caste census. Then even in mining operation, there were some points made. Then most serious statement made. When you said about mainland India, what is mainland India?
Yes, sir, I made a mistake.
Is that India? The north is not part of India.
No, sir, I tried to rectify, but I analyzed the mistake at that time.
Yeah, so that is a very serious mistake. You must be very careful in the use of words. You see, Supreme Court live-in relationships, that's all fine. You may or may not know. But you said some article, 142, this, that, something, I said, kuch bol diya. Now, his point was very specific. Can Supreme Court lay down the law of the land? Or is it to be given to the legislature?
Sir, it is officially not allowed, but under article, sorry, sir, I'm missing.
I think that line you have to read. You have not read that line.
Under exceptional circumstances, in a particular case, the Supreme Court can decide a case, like they did in the case of Rajiv Gandhi accused.
Yes.
You know, they let them free because they said that gross injustice has been done to them because no decision has been taken for many years. So there has to be something for the Supreme Court to say such things. In the normal course, the Supreme Court is not supposed to decide what the legislature is supposed to do.
Yes,
Of course, there's a different story to it. I'll come to the live-in relationships part later.
हाँ ठीक है, तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया में लिखा हुआ है कि एक तो लिखा है कि द लॉ डिक्लेयर्ड बाय सुप्रीम कोर्ट शैल बी बाइंडिंग. तो व्हाट इज़ लॉ डिक्लेयर्ड? लॉ डिक्लेयर्ड मीन्स व्हाट एवर दे डिसाइड. तो उसी में है जो स्टॉप गैप थ्योरी है कि कहीं पर कोई लॉ नहीं है तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट कहता है कि ये लॉ रहेगा. और जैसा आपने कहा कि तब तक रहेगा जब तक कि उसी विषय पर कानून नहीं बना जाता है. उसका सबसे बड़ा एग्जाम्पल है भंवरी देवी का केस, जो कि जिसमें विशाखा गाइडलाइंस इशू हुई थी. ठीक है, बाद में उस पर एक्ट बन गया तो विशाखा गाइडलाइन उसमें सबमर्ज कर दी गई. ठीक है ना, तो दैट्स हाउ इट इज़. और थोड़ा सा और पढ़ना पड़ेगा आपको ये रेड होल माइनिंग के बारे में, हाँ, कि क्या एग्जैक्टली सिचुएशन है. बाकी आपने अच्छा बताया कि वहाँ पर कोयला जो है व्यक्तिगत रूप संपत्ति है, वो जो है सरकारी संपत्ति नहीं है. तो एक्चुअली क्या है, वहाँ पर डिस्ट्रिक्ट काउंसिल्स हैं, वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट काउंसिल्स उसको कंट्रोल करती हैं एंड दे आर लॉ unto themselves. In fact, they have law for certain things of written down for them. District Council Act. So because of that, the state government or the central government has no role practically there. But certainly, if they that mining is banned, if the state government wants, then it can ban the transportation of coal from that area.
Yes.
I was nearby. About 1,500 trucks per day is the output.
Yes, sir.
That's a great amount. Each truck is loaded for about 20 tons.
Yes.
Against normal 12 ton, 20 tons are loaded. 1,500 trucks go out every day.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Saurav, I find you very composed, confident,
Yes.
relaxed, and whatever suggestions have been given, you please follow and try to cover your knowledge gaps
Yes.
as far as possible.
Yes.
No one is an encyclopedia, but still, whatever ground you can cover, it will help you,
I will read more.
right? When is your interview?
7th April, sir.
So, plenty of time.
Yes.
You can prepare a question bank
Yes, sir.
with some bullet points against each question based on your DAF and important current events. That will help you.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to think about most of the answers
Yes.
during the interview, right?
Yes, sir. I prepared, but I will update more. I think today I got some.
All the best.
Do you want to ask anything?
Sir, I got answer to most of the things, and sir, I just want to ask about my pace, like a comment.
I don't see a problem. It's okay. You can slightly slow down if you want, but otherwise it's okay. Be careful. Don't take very extreme positions. Matters like caste census also. You should be a little careful because it's fraught with a lot of complications. Suddenly they'll catch you somewhere where you are not expecting. Caste surveys have been done in many places, but they are not able to publish it or put it into practice. So 50% reservation is serving as a barrier. So what is the use? You have 70%, 75% people, let's say, are backward. You can't increase the reservation from 50%. So those things, questions can be put to you. They'll ask you for your response. So these things you must be prepared then. If you want to take a position, say you are very clear. You said straight away caste census must be conducted. Aap to bol hi diya. The earlier point you did in 2011 they conducted, but they did not publish the data.
Yes, sir.
Because the data collected itself is faulty.
Yes, sir.
Now it will be even more faulty, I'll tell you, because now everybody is prepared. So they will give all kinds of wrong information now. Anyway, you have to, but prepare a good position for that. You should know what your stance is going to be.
Sir, I will now, sir, prepare my opinion also.
Exactly.
I have not prepared my opinion, just trade advantage and disadvantage. Yes.
On some of these controversial points, you should be prepared.
Yes, sir.
Indo-China relations also, you should be prepared. You said something, yeah, we are importing, we should reduce, but then you are saying we should adopt a friendly posture and import more.
Not, yes, sir.
It should not be contradictory also. You are saying we should find other partners. That's where I appreciated and I still gave marks. Because that was a very valuable point. You said, no, we should find other sources. That is a very good point you made. That's a good thing. But if you adopt a friendly posture, Atmanirbhar tha, wo nahi aaya kahin. Self-reliance, try to make ourselves self-reliant. That's also there. It's also important. Try to do that. Very good. All the best.
Sir, I will also read about rat hole mining and other factors.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
That your Kharagpur is known for mining.
Yes, sir.
So obviously mining engineering graduate coming, everything of mining, including the modern methods of mining,
Yes, sir.
where they have automated everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's important. Carry on.
Use of rat hole miners in Uttarakhand,
Yes, sir.
that tunnel.
Thank you, sir.